You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
A very good afternoon. Welcome to Blue Radio News at 1 p.m. My name is David Kialo. President William Ruto has emphasized his administration's dedication to inclusive development, citing unity with the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga as a key pillar of national transformation. Speaking at State House, Nairobi, during a meeting with the Kisumu leaders, Ruto said political cooperation is enabling bold decisions for national progress. He unveiled major projects in Kisumu, including 700 million to modernize Moi Stadium into a world-class facility, another 700 million solar project at Ahero irrigation scheme, 3.5 billion rice modernization program with JICA, 3 billion Kenya shillings upgrade of Jaramogi Odinga Hospital to level 6, and many more. Ruto affirmed that development, not division, will unify Kenya, saying no region or community will be left behind. Moving on, a lawyer representing 2 police officers accused of assaulting a Nairobi hawker has withdrawn from the case, citing threats from online activists. Felix Keaton, who was defending officers Masinde Baraza and Duncan Kiprono, stepped down after reportedly receiving over 1,000 threatening calls and messages from members of the Gen Z movement. The officers were filmed allegedly assaulting Boniface Kariuki along Moi Avenue on June 17, sparking national outrage. Keaton expressed fear for his family's safety, revealing even his relatives have been targeted. The officers are expected to appear in court later today. Elsewhere, the World Health Organization (WHO) has released its first ever global guideline focused on managing sickle cell disease during pregnancy, aiming to address serious health risk for both mothers and babies. Dr. Pascal Alotti and Dr. Doris Cho from WHO highlighted the need for early care planning, more investment in treatment access, and the urgent need for research into sickle cell disease care during pregnancy. With over 7.7 million people living with sickle cell disease globally and over 375,000 deaths annually, WHO says the guideline is a step toward reducing maternal and newborn death from these under-researched conditions. Moving to business news, the Hustler Fund is under intense scrutiny after the Auditor General Nazigathungu's latest report revealed that 8 billion from the 2022-2023 budget cannot be accounted for. Appearing before the National Assembly Public Accounts Committee, Cooperative Principal Secretary Patrick Kilemi admitted that only 12 billion out of the 20 billion allocated to the fund was requested and transferred. Kilemi attributed the confusion to transitional challenges during the early days of the Kenya Kwanza government, saying that the State Department of SMEs, which now oversees the fund, was not yet fully integrated into government systems. MPs, however, accused the principal secretary for negligence and failing to provide leadership, insisting he should have flagged the missing funds. Committee Chair Tindi Mwale stated it was the PA's responsibility to request and account for the money, while Funyula MP Wilberforce Aundo questioned whether an executive order had transferred the funds between departments. The Auditor General report shows a 36% under absorption of the Hustler Fund's budget, leaving Kenyans demanding answers. Where did the money go? And now to international news. After years of conflict and tension, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda has half agreed on the text of a draft peace accord aimed at ending hostilities between the two countries. The agreement, brokered by the United States and observed by Qatar, is set to be signed on June 27 this year during ministerial level meeting. The draft pact includes commitment to respect territorial integrity, probe its hostilities and take steps toward disengagement, disarmament, and the conditional integration of armed groups. The development marks a renewed diplomatic efforts after previous attempts under Angola mediation failed to gain traction, with the African Union and regional bodies have largely stayed on the sidelines. The US has taken a leading role in pushing the peace process forward. Despite cautious optimism, observers warn that past agreements have been flattered once implemented on the ground, leaving millions displaced in eastern Congo. The world now watches closely to see if this accord will bring lasting peace to the region. And now moving to sports news. Manchester United host Arsenal in the first Super Sunday of the 2025-2026 Premier League season, with the Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea and FA Cup winners Crystal Palace also featuring live on Sky Sports on a Pamba opening weekend. Manchester United begin their first full season under Ruben Amorim on August 17 at home to title Arsenal. United also face Man City and Chelsea in their opening 5 games. That's up to date. Catch these and more news at the top of the hour. My name is David Kialo.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.